Okay, let's just jump right into this, because something absolutely massive is happening in Indian finance. Seriously. We are talking about a true, once-in-a-generation shift that's completely changing how we handle money, how companies get built, and frankly, where the best jobs are going to be. And it's all happening in one area, FinTech.
$990 billion. Just take a second and let that number actually sink in. No, that is not a typo. According to a major forecast, that's how big India's fintech market is projected to be by 2032. We are literally standing at the beginning of a modern-day gold rush.
And that gets us to the most important question, doesn't it? The one this whole thing is about. It's an incredible opportunity, for sure, but how do you go from just hearing about it to actually being a part of it? How do you get in on the ground floor? Well, that is exactly what we are about to break down, step by step.
All right, so first things first, let's really get a grip on the sheer size of this gold rush. To get why this is such a big deal, you really have to understand the numbers driving this whole revolution.
And what's so wild is that it doesn't matter which expert forecast you look at. They all tell the same story, just explosive, insane growth. We're talking about the market potentially quadrupling, with some even saying it's going to get close to $1 trillion. The main thing to remember here is that the growth line is basically going straight up.
And this tells you where the smart money is heading. Think about this. Over the past 5 years, fintech startups in India have pulled in more than $20 billion in funding. That's 21% of all startup funding in the entire country. Investors are placing these huge bets on fintech, and for a very, very good reason.
But you know, this whole boom isn't just about the money or the tech. It's actually being powered by a huge shift in culture, a totally new way of thinking about finance itself.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? This is not your parents' slow, stuffy banking world. No way. This is a culture that's all about speed, about challenging the old ways of doing things, and just constantly innovating. It's super energetic, it's always looking forward, and it is changing absolutely everything.
And this culture is thriving because it's built on this incredible ecosystem. I mean, you've got hundreds of millions of people who live on their phones, and they're all hungry for better financial services. You've got amazing payment systems like UPI that make sending money just effortless. And all of that together fuels this massive explosion of new startups pushing the limits of what's possible.
Okay, so we've seen the opportunity, we get the culture, but this new world creates a pretty big challenge. The old rules and, yeah, the old skills, they just don't cut it anymore if you want to be a leader here.
And right here, this is the problem in a nutshell. You can't just be the finance person anymore. And you can't just be the tech person. The fintech revolution needs a whole new type of leader, someone who's a hybrid, who can easily move between a balance sheet and a blockchain. You know, that secure tech that's rebuilding how we trust finance. So if that's the skills gap, how in the world do you cross it? Well, the answer is in specialized education, programs that are built from the ground up to be your bridge into this future. And that brings us to a really great example, the IMAS B-School PGDM program.
Just look at how this leadership journey is laid out. It's a super clear, logical roadmap. You start with the basics, the fundamentals, like blockchain. Then you move on to master powerful tools like AI and machine learning. Then you apply that knowledge to real-world stuff, like digital banking and RegTech. That's just using tech to make compliance and risk management way less of a headache. And finally, you learn to lead by really developing that innovative startup way of thinking. And what happens when you complete that journey? What's the payoff? Well, you unlock these incredible, high-value career paths. You could become a fintech product manager, actually designing the next big app. Or maybe to become a blockchain analyst, working on the absolute cutting edge. You could even become a consultant. Or, hey, why not go all the way and become a startup co-founder yourself?
So, why is all of this happening right now? I mean, what makes this exact moment so special? Let's take a look at the key ingredients that are creating this perfect storm of opportunity. This crazy growth is only possible because India has built the perfect digital foundation for it. You have almost everyone owning a smartphone. Data is incredibly cheap, and we have this world-class payment system in UPI. This isn't just some passing trend. This is the solid bedrock the whole revolution is built on.
And this is the part that gets me really excited. When you mix finance, tech, and that startup culture, it totally transforms what you can become. You're not just some employee, a cog in a machine, no. With the right skills, you become an innovator, someone who sees new solutions. You become a disruptor who challenges how things have always been done. You become a creator. And that brings us to our last section, which is honestly the most important one. This is about taking action. It's about going from just understanding the future to actually getting your hands dirty and building it.
Look, you can sit back and watch this whole thing happen from the sidelines. You can read the headlines about billion-dollar companies and all that. Or you can decide to be a part of it.
You can be one of the ones who builds it. With the right skills, the right way of thinking, and the right people around you, you can literally be one of the people shaping what finance looks like in India, and hey, maybe even the world.
So if you're ready to take that step, here's exactly how you can start. The PGDM in FinTech at IMAS B-School is that entry point. You can check out the website or just give them a call to learn more. It's that simple.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. This FinTech revolution, it isn't coming someday. It's here, right now. So the only question you really have to ask yourself is this: are you ready to follow it, or are you ready to lead it?